Welcome traders. This is Mel with the High Speed Trading Company, and today in our Trading Basics series we're going to talk about candle anatomy and the power of three. If you like this and you get value out of it, please subscribe and like this video. So let's get into this. Our objectives for today: how to read a candle, understanding how a candle is made, the parts of a candle, how to understand how it's formed, to be able to anticipate how a candle will form. This is very valuable when you're trading because you can make trading decisions just on the candle alone. And lastly, how to use the power of three in your daily trading. So let's kind of go to the charts. This is a basic, simple diagram of a candle right here. We're going to assume for this illustration, this is a daily candle. But again, candles are fractal. This could be a weekly candle. This could be a monthly candle. This could be a 1 minute candle. So, and this is the ideal candle. We all know that candles, there's many variations. Sometimes they have no wicks, sometimes they have a huge wick up, maybe a huge wick down. But for this illustration, we're going to talk about the basic candle. And you have four pieces to it: the open, low, high, close. And sometimes that's going to be the open, high, low, close, depending on how that candle forms. This is a bullish candle. It opened, it went lower, went higher, and then retraced to give us a close. So looking at this simple illustration right here, we're going to basically consider this one day. This is 1 day in the life of a candle, a daily candle. We open up, we go lower, we go create a high, and then we retrace for a close. We open, we go down, we come up past the open to the high, back to close. That gives us our open, low, high, closed. So a candle, a lower wick, is formed when we go to the open and drop down. We're going to call that manipulation, which we will cover more as we move on through this series. Then we have where we go from the low to the high. We're going to call that distribution. And then we have from the high back down to the close, and that could be a continuation or it could be a retracement. But in this case, it's a retracement close. So basically, let's just talk about this a little bit. Let's just chat. The market opens up at the beginning of the day. The market will, in truthfulness, it'll probably go a little bit accumulate. Then it'll manipulate down. Then it'll gyrate its way up to the high. And then it'll come back down to the close. And again, I can't reiterate this enough. This is ideal. Not every candle is going to form this way. And then in our next illustration, when we go to the charts, you're going to see a little variation on that. But what's important to know is that when we go into the open, the algorithm is going to bring price lower so that smart money, institutional money, can position themselves for a distribution, which is the move up. At the top, at the high, once the objective is met, then you're going to see a retracement as, towards the end of the day, as institutions, as banks, as all the smart money, they're going to close their positions for the day, causing a little bit of a retracement. So let's get into the chart. Here we have a basic chart. We have accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and here it's kind of a fuzzy picture, but it's pretty much just retracement. it's noise. Another way to do this is AMD, and then this could be X, which could be a retracement, could be a continuation, could end up being a lot of things. But what we're going to do is we're going to go to replay, and we're going to look at this. So here's the candle right here at the beginning of the day. This is yesterday's candle. If we just go forward 1, forward 2, now we've started our day. It's always good to note that the open, and by the way, there's several different opens, and we will talk about that again more. But for now, the open is 6 o'clock, the beginning of the trading day. 6 o'clock Sunday for trading Monday, 6 o'clock p.m. New York time on Monday for Tuesday's trading, and so on. But let's just start this, and we're going to watch how this candle forms. So here we have accumulation now, and then they're going to drive it lower in this accumulation and create manipulation. Well, now they're just taking the market up. They're creating the illusion that the market's going to be bearish or bullish for the day. And then the New York Open happens somewhere around here, and we have distribution. And then we pretty much, they meet objectives. Then it kind of accumulates a little bit more, and let's stop that. Accumulates a little bit more, and then we have a little bit of a retracement to end the day out. So we have accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and then retracement. This candle in reality was, it opened, it went up, went down, went up a little bit, went down, came back up to create the high, came back down to create the low, and then we just kind of went sideways to the close of the day right there, creating a wick here and a wick here. That is your basic power of 3. So how can we use that? Well, let's say that I'm doing my higher time frame analysis, which we'll be doing a lesson on that really soon. Higher time frame analysis. That is so key to basically get your bias for the day. Let's say that I do my morning analysis, and I'm looking at the market, and I'm anticipating. Let's say I come to the market. Let's say I come to the market right about here. So we're a little bit before the New York Open. Knowing that we have generally manipulation before distribution. I would come in here and just to give you a little insight into what we're going to talk about is when we do a higher time frame, there's a liquidity level. There's a liquidity level. So these are all liquidity. And remember, that's our most important PD array. High and low, old highs, old lows, liquidity levels. So as this goes through the day, I come into the chart and I know that around 9:30, the market's going to open. So we'll put a line right there. The market opens at 9:30. And I'm saying that we're anticipating, based on this being manipulation, and my higher time frame says I should have a bearish day. So now knowing how a candle is formed, it creates a high and then distributes to the low. I can begin to, as we coming to the open, I can begin to anticipate. And by the way, you notice here we took this liquidity level right here, and then we took this liquidity level right here. And then the market begins to drop. We're getting our distribution now. So then the market begins to go down. Goes down, creates the low, and then begins to come up to give us our close. That's basically the power of 3 and or AMD, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, which we will go into more and more details as time goes on. This is a basic understanding of how a candle is made, how you can use that candle to anticipate where it's going to go. This is going to hold true on a daily candle, on an hourly candle. So typically, if you look at any candle, it's going to have a wick up, a wick down, and that wick up on a down candle is manipulation. On a up candle, that wick down is manipulation. And we can anticipate then that candle going to reach targets. And it's all about having a higher time frame bias and understanding of where the market's going to go is how we put this power of 3 into use on a daily basis. I hope you got a lot out of this. I hope this gives you more understanding. Go back. By the way, this is this is a good indicator, not necessarily to use while you're trading, but it's a good indicator to better understand the power of 3 as you go through. It's based on a daily candle. I think they call it the higher time frame power of 3. Let's see, higher time frame power of 3 by 2 degrees. Put that on your chart, go back into your charts, go into the replay mode, go back into your charts, and play with this. We could go back just to show you. We could go back to 6 o'clock on the day before. Now that's going to be the previous candle. There's the start of a brand new candle, and we can watch this all over again. So the open. So another side note, just to put down in your notes, is that if you're anticipating a bullish or a bearish day, let's say that you're anticipating, I'm going to say this is probably going to be a bearish day. I don't recall. You think I would remember by looking. I saw the charts. But if the open is, you want to get in during that manipulation phase before it distributes. So in a candle, let's just play this out. In a candle, you want to be in that manipulation. And by the way, there are days, which this was one of those days, where the market is more sideways and not necessarily a day that you're going to be able to predict what it's going to do. Markets don't act like we want them to act. They act like they're programmed to act. And sometimes it works to we can get enough insight to be able to understand where it's going to go. But if you look at this one, it kind of stayed just around that opening and kept coming back to that opening price. That is what we would call a low probability trading day. And doesn't mean there aren't scalps in here, but it doesn't give you, like we had the next day, it doesn't give you that really nice distribution that we had on this day. So we're going to hit the open again and watch what happens when we hit that open. It goes down. So if you were going to get in this trade, you would want to try to get in that trade before the open. Here's the open. We're going to always have that open on our charts. And again, we'll talk more about opens at a later date. because there's several openings that are key. This is the day opening, which is basically 8 o'clock or 6 o'clock New York time, 6 o'clock p.m. New York time, the day before. So this is Wednesday, but if you notice, it's on Tuesday at 6 o'clock. That was when that opens. But when do you want to get in this trade? You want to get in this trade somewhere above this open. So let's say you come to the market, and I'm making some assumptions here that we're talking about the New York session. You may want to trade the London session. If you do, then you're going to need to learn how can I trade that manipulation, because again, it's the same thing. Let's say you know the trade, you're anticipating a down day, but you're trading London session. You're going to anticipate that the London session is going to be manipulation. So if you're anticipating a bearish day, you can anticipate bullishness through the London session. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit there, but hopefully this gives you some more information. Again, like and subscribe if you like the content that I'm putting out. And until later, have a great day and be blessed.